Each of the missionary servants of the Most Holy Trinity try to use their giftedness to reach out to the people of God, to live the charism of Trinity missions, which is the preservation of the faith among the spiritually neglected and abandoned, especially the poor, and to call every Catholic to be an apostle, to be missionaries in their daily life. So there are many ways of doing that. Each of us do it in our own way. It might be in a parish, it might be in a non-parochial ministry, it might be working with the homeless or with immigrants.
This is the heart and soul of my life and our life. We bring in lots and lots of people. They come rushing from their neighborhoods, very difficult and challenging neighborhoods in Compton and here in South Los Angeles, in a sense to run away from life. And I started to be very critical about that, wondering, why is there so much celebration of sacrament? Why is there so much worship? But I would look around and I saw very little transformation. And the power of Jesus is the power of us caring for one another. But if we don't know one another, how are we going to care for one another?
You can hear always the police helicopters, police around you. To be honest, sometimes made me nervous. In this stage of my life and formation, probably the continuous temptation is to trying to do things. But this is not the time to do things. This is the time to be present with the people. The real purpose of our charisma to develop the lay leadership in the church, to listen, to learn, and to accompany people in their own process. And their presence to me can help to build a better future for us, for our communities.
And so the heart of my vision has been to invite people to come together. So to come to the heart, to the emotion, to talk about how am I feeling in my body, living here in South LA, listening to gunshots, watching kids be shot on the street. You know, the mission of Jesus is to build bridges between broken hearts, to allow the pain of the brokenness become the healing of presence to one another, especially those that aren't like ourselves. And so we as the missionary servants have been here 2 years.
The big difference between the past and now, we are more incorporated as a lay people. We feel more like a family type. The missionaries, they walk with us. And I hope to see more of that in the community and more people serving.
I've been in and out of jail, and I've been dealing, up to this point, I was dealing, in the underworld, doing all kind of stuff that was wrong. And usually, somebody that lives in the street life or is out there in the world, and they're not used to people having their arms open for them, and right here it's a place that their arms are open. They don't judge you, they don't look at you. It's kind of easier probably for me to relate. That's probably like why they handed it over to me, and we kind of support each other in that way. So, or just, go and sit down with them so that person sees that somebody just like him is changed and is looking for a better way of life, and maybe give them that hope that they could do it also.
I was a police officer here in the early 2000s. Some of the most violent years we've had. And I was invited to go over there and meet Father Stan. And there were all these kids in a circle. I actually sat in the circle. And in that circle were kids that I had arrested. And I still remember to this day how powerful that was. It's about the collaboration. All of those things coming together are truly what reduces crime.
And the department started looking at our ways to work with intervention, and even with clergy leaders such as yourself, because we knew we couldn't arrest our way out of the problem. Me able to walk in with Father Stan to a room and talk about the trauma that's being caused in these communities is going to have more impact than if I walk in uniform and try to talk to children and parents. Kind of build that bridge to be able to talk some of these kids out of that life.
That these are gang intervention workers and case managers that are out on different neighborhoods and different streets all day and all night long, where they're out intervening for violent situations. Most of them are ex-felons who have been to prison that have been sick and tired of being sick and tired. They want to be a part of the healing.
About 11 years ago, we was at a candlelight vigil for a loved one who was murdered. And while we was there, paying our last respects to him, someone came up in the crowd and killed my twin brother and my little cousin. And with that, if I didn't have the information I have now, I could have been that same person where I wanted to retaliate and kill someone else. But I took that energy and no, I don't want nobody else to go through this. And so that's why I stayed to this fight. I want to help someone else not go through the experience that I've been through. I have to heal myself before I can heal someone else. And so the relationship that we do have, the communication that we have, I think it should be shared around the world.
And I think it's the time to respond to our universal call to holiness, our universal call to respond to our baptismal vows. We can respond in our own vocation as a lay person, as a single person, as a married person, as a person who wants to pursue the religious life.
We share a charism in common to serve the poor and the abandoned. But the other piece as a part of our charism is to empower the people of God. But we're all called to that place of proclaiming the message and the mission of Jesus in the everydayness of our lives. That's our mission, from my interpretation as missionary servants. In the everydayness of our lives, we are the apostles of Jesus.